Let's start off with quick introductions. We're going to circle around the starting cast to the show, and we're going to end on our new player today named Rana. Rana is a good friend of mine, someone who I respect very much. She is a dungeon master on Twitch, someone who tells stories herself. She runs Streamy D&D with some other content creators as well. There are some incredible things to be learned from her, and I hope that she has a lot of fun joining our cast list with her very interesting character that you guys will get to meet, and things should be pretty awesome. But we're going to start with Amity, and we're going to circle around all the way around my overlay here on the screen, and we'll end on Rana. So, Amity, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick, and just let us know if anything cool is going on in your life, anything coming up, any events. It's okay if nothing.
I'm Amity. Hi, nice to meet you, Rana. It's nice to meet you. I'm excited that you're here. We're a little crazy, but you'll have fun, I promise.
This is true. This is facts.
Yeah, I'm Amity. I play scary games. That's really it. I have nothing coming up, not that I can think of. I just got back to streaming actually. I started again the day before yesterday. What was that? What's today?
Today's Friday.
Okay, I started Wednesday. My first stream back was on Wednesday, and it went really fun. I'm really excited to start streaming again. So yeah.
Nice, and we're all excited to have you back. I know your stream is one of the best vibes on the entire platform. So
Thank you.
that's just the truth. And then, would you tell a little bit about your character too, just a tiny little bit?
Okay, so my character is Esme. She is a fairy. She's a rogue. She is a little dull looking, but she's a little ditzy, I guess you could say. I don't know. She likes to stick around Violet a lot and just kind of pick and cause trouble. So yeah, that's Esme.
All right, and then that's perfect transition to Violet herself, Nins Kabins. Nina, go ahead and introduce yourself, and let's hear it.
All right. Hi, I'm Nina Ninskabins. I don't need to really call myself a streamer. I'm just a person who vibes and likes to turn on Twitch every now and then right now.
Yeah.
But let's see. My character on D&D is a person that's made out of dreams. So I'm literally the person that you dream of sometimes. And I'm also a rogue sometimes. And I love Esme. We're like basically a duo in this campaign. Things that come up. Okay, I'm a busy woman. I'm booked and busy right now because I like to do stuff. I went ghost hunting a few days ago for Halloween with actual professional ghost hunters.
What?
And it was insane. We went to a castle and it was like 6 floors. It was owned by like this Japanese soldier back in the day, and like they died from a fire and they don't know what started the fire. So we went into the room and like the room was like burnt to the ground. It was terrifying. And then tomorrow for me, I am going to Kuala Lumpur Fashion Week, which is basically like the New York Fashion Week, but for Malaysia. I was invited.
Oh my
yeah.
god,
That's so
Nina!
cool.
That is actually super dope.
I'm doing stuff, surprisingly enough. Yeah, that's about it for me.
Where should people follow you if they want to follow that stuff?
Oh, they could just follow me at like Ninskabins, I guess.
I guess
I'll
like
just
whatever. It's like NINZKABINZE
ABINZE
or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Stuff like that, you know. But yeah.
Perfect. Well, awesome. So happy to have you on this show. You're one of my favorite people in the world. So anywhere on the planet. So just an incredible person. My Commander's Eastern European alter ego is Chadislav. Is that right? I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Because you're a Chad.
Oh, I'm a Chad. Okay, a European Chad.
Uh-huh.
A Chadislav.
Yeah.
Oh no. Moving on. Angelic, go ahead and introduce yourself and your character.
Oh boy. Well, I'm Angelic. I don't do much, but when I do
Cap.
something, listen. I stream sometimes, you know, here and there. Fuck, I'm getting nervous.
Don't be nervous. Do you want me to describe your streams? Because I can.
I know, she's selling herself so short right now.
Yeah, sure. You can describe my streams, and then I will talk about what I've been up to. Okay?
All right.
Deal?
Yeah, sounds good. So Angelic is a mostly just chatting streamer. So she has her chat up and then she talks with them and like they talk back and forth. They banter back and forth. She tells stories. They talk with her. She does things like, doing like Google forms where the viewers go to the Google form and they submit some information and then she reads over it and has like talks with them about it. And it's just a lot of fun, like back and forth banter, very laid back, very chill. She opens Pokemon cards. She does all kinds of cool stuff that is just like super interactive. If you want a community to go to, that is a community that she's building for sure.
Oh yeah, and the talent shows. Like I love doing things where I can let my community just basically express what they're good at. Because at the end of the day, I know I can do some stuff, but I want to see what they can do, you
Hell
know?
yeah.
So that's what makes me happy. And lately, I haven't been streaming because I have actually been doing something new. I've been doing Discord streams. So every night I've been getting into my Discord and I let anyone join. They don't have to be a sub, but if they want to sub, they can. But they don't have to be a sub to join. And we just chill and they stream to me. I get to see their faces instead of them staring at my face. So it's actually pretty fun. I love doing that. And on the side, though, I'm actually getting my first house, which is pretty exciting stuff.
Yo.
I'm super excited about that. That's what I've been working on the most recently. I don't think anything else has been going on much other than my Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments. God, I love those Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments. I've been going to those a lot. They're really fun. I go with that with my roommate, and yeah, that's it. That's all I've been up to, I guess.
Sounds dope. Let's see. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I just changed the region on the Discord, so I'm hoping that actually helps the lag a little bit. I changed it to US East, so it's closer to everybody in Rana.
Oh, me.
Moving on to our wonderful barbarian Leanna, played by Shark Lord. Shark, go ahead and tell us about yourself and what you got going on.
Hello, I'm Shark Lords. I'm just, I guess I do things or whatever.
True.
But I don't know. Lately, I've just been kind of like, oh, I'm sorry. I've been just like chilling, flexing, not really doing anything, taking it easy, but also like just focusing on like work, like just doing that.
Mhm.
And so, but yeah, I don't really have anything big coming up. I'm kind of just vibing while I can.
Well,
So, yeah.
that's awesome, and I know you've been working on really hard, and I also know that I and everyone else on this cast absolutely loves having you on here. This is one of those things, guys, where like you guys don't have to be afraid. Like if you stop making content on the internet, or you're not really wanting to still be, the same thing that you were when this thing started, like this table is your guys'. It's like I don't really care about like Amity Avon. I care about Amity. You know what I mean? Like I just care about you being on the show. Like, so as long as, it doesn't matter if you're making content on here or not, if you have anything going on or not, it's not like that. It's, this was your guys' show from the start, and it'll be your guys' show till it's over. So,
Oh, it's so fun. It's like a nice hangout, and I enjoy being here. Like, this makes me so happy, just like doing this and like free of judgment, like everything. Oh my God, it makes me so happy. And like being
absolutely.
able to like have the time to like do this, so cool, so cool. So thank you so much. Like, you always do like awesome stuff, by the way.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure. I love you guys a lot. So, finally, Rana, go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know what you got going on. And you don't have to describe your character yet. We'll do that when we meet her.
Hello everyone, I'm super excited to join. If not I'm a bit awkward. I'm from England. What do I do? I've just totally forgotten what I do. I do like D&D as well. I've got like a few extra D&D streams coming up. I also do just chatting. I used to get drunk a lot this time last year on stream, but I did take a break from alcohol because my body probably needed it. But yeah, I'm excited to have fun with you guys and get to know you guys, and yeah, do some fun stuff.
We're excited to have you here.
Yeah.
I think you guys are really going to love Rana, and then you're also going to love her character as well. I think both you guys are going to fall in love with. So, with that said, anything anyone else wants to say before we do a quick recap and get into gameplay? All right, let's do it. So, last we left off in the story, you all were traveling towards a city called Petro, the lost city of Marble. And it's known as this place where you go to gamble and live out your wildest desires. And it's basically like the medieval Las Vegas. Clubs and dancing and money and women and men and everything else, all thrown throughout. It's the place where people go to escape from the dreariness of this kind of medieval world that you all live in. You've probably noticed that a lot of the towns you go to are pretty kind of dreary and sad, and they're very gothic, and rainy, and just it's that kind of environment. But this city is pristine white marble with beautiful tall buildings, still has that kind of gothic architecture, but surrounded with beautiful music always playing everywhere, and people have smiles on their faces. And then during the nightlife, things just get crazy. People go out and party and go to clubs and gambling and casinos and all kinds of good stuff. So you guys will experience all of that as you get in there. But the reason you're going is because you're looking for an artifact. For those of you, this is the first time watching the story, the group here is trying to summon a demon that's only known by the name Mother by most people. And Mother is prepared to grant them whatever wish they desire if they're able to summon her to the mortal plane. They need to collect 4 special artifacts to be able to do the ritual to summon her. They've collected one of those artifacts, which was a silver chalice able to control the dead. Sneeze. And it's gone. It's gone.
No.
I hate that.
Oh no.
What a tease. Commander Swishy in the chat says, hope you all have a good session. May your dice roll high and commanders roll low.
Aw.
No, I want to kill everybody, Chris. Now, that's a good friend of mine, Chris. He was one of the first people I ever actually played D&D with, an IRL friend, a really, really cool guy. So if you like motorcycle content and stuff, you can go follow him on YouTube. He does like motorcycle trips that he videotapes and things. So he's a pretty cool guy. Give him some love as well. Also one of my longest subs, 25 months. That's 2 years. So thanks. Thank you so much for the sub, Chris. With that said, the last thing to note about the story here is they are attempting to find a relic here in the lost city of Marble. It is a dagger, a golden dagger, and it's said to hide from people who are looking for it. So the plan for the party is to go to the town, try and find some information about it, and then let the dagger come to them. It is supposed to be inside of like a temple, and that temple's entrance will only open once they stop looking for it. So it's kind of one of those things where they need to kind of figure out that riddle. They need to figure out how to stop looking for something and then find it. It's very interesting. They're gonna have to figure out how to do that. It's a little brain puzzle for them. But with that said, that's where we're gonna pick up here on the episode 8 of Elegant Evil. With your group, you are approaching the large marble walls of the city of Petro. This is a place that is, like I said, pristinely clean, which is very surprising. There's no dirt on any of the walls. There are guards in this beautiful marble armor that wait at the large front rising gate that they raise up with these big chains, and they allow people through in these big lines. All the people that you see in the lines are dressed like they are going to a carnival or a fair. They have these beautiful, like, purple gold robes that they're wearing. People who, there are no kids in this line. There are not going to be any kids probably even in this city. This is like a place that people go to escape. And so people are dressed like they're ready to escape, dressed like they're ready to just go party their hearts out. And you can actually hear the music from behind the large walls you're standing in front of. You can hear the muffled sounds of people buying and selling things. You hear the sounds of laughter and music and all those good things on the other edge of the wall. And you find a spot in line as it begins to inch forward. The people you see around you are all whispering and talking to each other, excited. You see a lot of them have big packs of gold on them, ready to spend, and probably a lot more wealthy than any of you are. In fact, as you're in the line here, you see behind you, there is a female half-elf who is wearing this beautiful white and red gown. It's like white on the top with this red kind of accents near the bottom. And she has this beautiful diamond necklace that she's wearing, and she's got a purse. And you can see, those of you looking around, especially Esme, who's kind of sitting on Violet's shoulder, you see her kind of rustling through her little purse, which has a bunch of platinum pieces in it, which are like, each platinum piece is 10 gold pieces. So there's a bunch of them in there. It looks like she's very wealthy. She is standing with a large, burly half-elf. He's very muscular and manly looking. He's wearing a tuxedo and a top hat, and he's holding onto a cane as he kind of leads her into the city behind you. They're just kind of shuffling behind you, but you hear him and her under their breath kind of talking about you. Everyone roll me a perception check, please, as they're kind of whispering back and forth. She looks up from her purse, counting her coins, counting her platinum pieces. Let's see some perception checks. And then, Rana, did you get that thing installed? The little extension I sent you?
Which extension?
They should send it in Discord. If you're using Chrome, that'll work. Otherwise, if you're using Firefox or something else, just if you type in Beyond 20, it's an extension for whatever browser you're using. Okay. And it'll make it so that when you click on a role in your D&D Beyond character sheet, it'll show up in Roll20. Okay, wow. Nice perception checks, everybody. Everyone's pretty good. Even Leanna with the 10 is good enough to hear, because they're not being super quiet about it, but they are kind of whispering, like this kind of hushed voices. The guy says, "Well, they don't look like they belong, do they, dear?" And the woman says, "No, but who are we to judge?" She kind of like laughs under her breath, and he says, "Well, I mean, when you're rich, that's all you have to do is judge. Isn't that right, my dear?" And she kind of giggles. He kisses her on the cheek. Anything anyone want to do before you guys keep inching forward in the line?
Rich people.
People in relationships. Disgusting.
Double negative. Rich and in a relationship. Fuck you.
Oh. Can we kill them already?
The line continues to inch forward, and as it does, hold on, let me check my... Okay, yeah, no worries. Rana, no worries. Okay, so as you guys continue to inch forward, the line gets closer and closer to the front gates. And finally, the group in front of you enters, and it's a large group of what look like basically like frat boys. They all enter into the city, and in front of you, the gate closes as the guards kind of stand in front, and they go to start asking their questions to you. So whoever would like to step forward and talk for your group, the first guard steps forward again. He's wearing this kind of beautiful white marble armor, big shield and spear, both also made out of a mix of marble and metal. And as he steps forward, it kind of clunks and clangs. And he says, "What's your business in the city? How can I help you?"
I'm gonna nudge Leanna, because that seems like a Leanna job.
Me too.
Oh my goodness. But my charisma's so low. I can't do these things. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna kind of try to act tough, try to intimidate them, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. He asks, "What's your business in the city?" What do you say?
Just, I don't know, I kind of just like look at them like, what's it to you?
Oh god.
Okay, roll me an intimidation check. Natural 20. That's 2 in a row.
Whoa!
Okay. He kind of takes a step back as he's looking at you. You're a pretty large Leonin, and to him, I mean, you're taller than him. He is more wider. He's wider than you, especially with his armor, but you're much taller than he is. And he kind of takes a step back as his armor clanks and thuds with the marble and metal mix. And he steps back away from you. The other guard says, "What are you scared of? Stop being so scared." And he looks at you, and he also, his eyes kind of get big as he takes a step back, and he goes, "Oh, what? Just let them through. They look like they're here to just have some fun. Let them through. And the other one's like, okay, yeah, no problem. He starts raising the gate. Chuk, 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 chuk. The big metal gate, it's got those like spikes on the bottom, classic like medieval gate. As they raise it up, it opens enough for you all four to walk through. Do you guys do anything on your way through? Do you guys want to do anything before I leave this like the line and the guards? Because you're going to get separated into the city. You're going to get kind of washed away into the crowd. So anything you guys want to do or say?
But I was right. That was a Leanna job. Let's go.
Yeah, I agree.
You definitely
Oh my
were right.
goodness.
All right. So the gate thuds behind you as it closes, and the guards start asking those two rich people that were behind you some questions. Okay, give me 1 second here. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. As you enter into the city, the sounds of laughter and music surround you as people are moving from spot to spot on the street. Some people are calling you over. Hey, magic show, 6 o'clock tonight. Hey, you all look like, yeah, you. And this guy who looks like a kind of like green skinned, he's very short. He looks like a goblin, but you can tell he's painted. He's a halfling that's painted like a goblin. He's got like fake ears that are sticking out really far, and he goes, "Hey, you, all of you, magic show. Name's Gil. Hey, you want to see a magic show? 6 o'clock. It's only 2 gold pieces. 2 gold pieces. What do you say? Huh? You all look like you're ready for some fun, huh? What do you say? Anyone say anything?
For 2
Same.
gold pieces?
Yeah, like I got
No,
10
not
gold.
each, not each. No, just total for half 5 silver for each of you.
Can we get a little sample?
Well, sure. He kind of like does a little jig, and as he does, he kind of brings his hand out, and a bouquet of flowers appears in it, and he hands it to you.
Ayo, she's mine back up.
I did not mean anything by it. Nothing at all. I mean, she's too tiny for me anyway.
How
Are you
dare
saying there's
you?
something wrong with my size?
No, there's nothing wrong with your size. You know
Am I
what?
not good enough for you?
1 silver piece for each of you. How's that sound? What?
Go away.
I don't know if I can go lower. You know what? Tickets on me. Tickets on. You guys show up 6 o'clock. I'll remember you. I can remember you. Easy.
All right, let's go. Magic
Okay.
show at 6 o'clock, guys.
So he kind of like scratches his neck. He seems embarrassed. He goes back. He like turns away, and then you can see him like recompose himself. He like straightens up his little brown jacket he's wearing. He kind of cracks his neck a little bit, and then goes to find a new group of people to try and get to join the show.
I'm excited.
All right.
Or we got it for free.
So right now it's about noon. You guys just came from the farmland. The farmland is what kind of surrounds this area. It takes a while for people to usually get here. It's a very secluded little city. And you came from the farmland. Remember, you had a lady who you had met. You spent the night with her, and that was Isabella. And as you talked with her, you learned that she had killed her husband. You learned that there was a curse on her farmland, and there's also kinds of interesting stuff kind of out there as well. Do you guys remember what she told you about the city? It's okay if you don't.
I don't. I
I
don't. I
do have to check my notes.
No worries.
I open my notes too.
So go ahead. If you would like, you guys can roll me history checks to see what you remember. And if they're all low, then we'll just have to play it out with you guys not remembering. Your characters just don't remember.
No. Okay.
My memory.
What the hell?
Damn.
What the fuck?
Oh!
Damn.
Oh.
What are these 20s?
As me and I are just like, yep, we don't remember a thing.
Okay. So, with a 12 for Leanna, a 7 for Esme, an 8 for Violet, none of you guys really remember much of what Isabella told you, but Juniper, immediately the first thing that sticks out in your brain is you remember she mentioned there was, like, creatures of the night here to watch out for. Like, she had mentioned that the city was overrun with creatures of the night, something that she knew about but not a lot of other people knew about, kind of thing.
Okay.
So this was
That
a
would
little...
make sense. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So obviously the nightlife here is huge, so it makes sense Yeah, exactly. With that said, as you were looking around, you guys find yourself at a signpost. This signpost leads off in a bunch of different directions, and one of which, it kind of stands out to you a bit. It looks like it's a medieval club of sorts. And the name of the club is Euphoria, and the sign is pointed in a direction kind of like northeast from where you guys are. And then it's got an opening time. The opening time for Euphoria is at 8 p.m. So you actually have time to hit the magic show, and then if you would like, you can go to the club.
Oh.
Your club?
This sounds like a good night to me.
Yep. I'm loving this already.
To your left, the sign points to the market. It just says the market, and it has a sign pointing to the left. It looks like it's maybe a half a mile down the road. And then straight in front of you is the administration building, is what it says, the administration building. And you see a large kind of marble, almost looks like almost like a library. It's got a big clock tower in the middle, but it doesn't look like a temple at all. It does not look like a place people would go to worship. It looks like a place people would go to like check in, find hotels, get directions, kind of like a visitor center, more like. But it's labeled the administration building. I would like Violet. Violet, roll me a. Actually, just Violet, what's your passive perception? If you look on the far left of your character sheet, the very far left, it'll say passive perception over there and it'll have a number.
12.
12. Okay. Give me 1 second, I gotta roll. Okay. So, Violet, you notice out of the corner of your eye, as you guys are looking at the sign and kind of deciding which way you want to go, you notice out of the corner of your eye a familiar sheen. Do you know what a sheen is? It's like a familiar glow or shine coming off of someone's armor.
Okay.
As they walk through the crowd towards the market, you see a familiar looking golden, beautiful, gaudy, almost too extra the armor of a guard. And this guard is dressed in all like beautiful, pristine gold. Very gaudy, very extra. And you immediately recognize that as your family's guardship. They are someone from your ex-family is here, but you're not sure who because the guards are blocking whoever it is, but they're walking towards the market.
Oh no! Oh no! That ain't good. That is not good.
So, what you guys notice Violet kind of like sweating, and she's like, uh-oh. What do you guys do?
Violet, what the fuck is wrong with you? What's going on?
Nothing, just some family trauma, you know. The usual,
Trauma?
you know, daddy issues, mommy issues, just name it, I have it, probably, yeah.
What about this city is bringing up your family trauma?
You see that guy there? The guy that's like shiny and all that shimmery stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from where I used to live at. Yeah, so
Are we-
someone here is probably like, yeah.
So
Got it,
the
got
old
it.
kingdom you used to live in is called the Kingdom of Midas, and it makes sense now why they are golden guards.
Ah. Oh god.
So that is the name of the
Lord.
kingdom you used to live in.
Are we hiding from them, or what's the plan here?
I think it's best to not be seen by them.
Okay.
That's always the best case scenario in this type of situations, for sure. Just, yeah, you guys are good to go. I think I need to lay low.
We're
Yep.
not gonna let you lay low alone. We'll hide
Oh
you.
my god. Thank you. Oh my god. Would that be possible?
I mean, you could stand behind Leanna at all times.
Okay, yes. I'm actually gonna do that. I'm gonna get behind Liana right now.
All right.
I'm not behind Liana.
Roll me a stealth check, please.
Oh god. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Okay.
My religion didn't help me.
Well,
All right. With a 12, The guards slip into the crowd towards the market and out of your vision. They don't seem to have noticed you as they continue in that direction. They seem like they have their attention focused on someone or something else and haven't really minded you. As you hide behind Leanna, you guys, everyone go ahead and roll me an investigation check, please. Investigation check, because you guys are looking for hints towards the dagger's location, looking for anything that might be able to help you. Okay. With these rolls, as you guys are looking around for any clues as to where this dagger might be, where to find it, where the trickster god might have put it, it's almost impossible. The city is almost blindingly clean and samey everywhere where you go. Everything looks kind of the same. You look down one street to the right, it looks exactly like the same street to the left. It's got this, like I said, beautiful white marble, and you actually see people cleaning the streets with spells. There are people who are dressed in these really nice looking clothes, and they're using what you recognize as prestidigitation to clean any footprints or stains off of the marble. The city is magically clean to the point where it is ridiculous. It's hard to even tell where you're at as the sun blinds you from different directions. You get why this city is probably more popular even at night, because in the sunlight, it's bright. It's like shining all over you. And you guys are like kind of like covering your eyes a bit, looking for maybe a place to go have some lunch and get to know the city folk a bit more. You also find yourself, we'll say Juniper. Juniper, as you're looking around, you see a place that kind of calls out to you. It's called Nature's Wonder. And it's kind of off the beaten path a little bit in a little marble strip mall almost.
Oh.
Is that where you want to tell the party to go? What do you say? You're the only one who spots it with your 13.
Of course. Let's go to the nature store.
Okay. So, you guys head over to Nature's Wonder. It is a cafe slash inn. It's a place you could stay if you wanted to. As you open the door to this basically like kind of simple looking marble outside, as you open into the inside, it's all wood on the inside, and there are vines and beautiful foliage all around the walls. The people here that are serving drinks and food are all dressed in these like George of the Jungle togas, and there is a panther in a cage that is next to the bar. As it like as you guys walk in, it kind of like roars at you and then lays back down in its cage and just kind of rolls over on its side, letting its tongue kind of hang out. And behind the bar, a woman in like I said, kind of a George of the Jungle looking toga dress. She looks like she's half orc. She says, "Hello, hey, welcome to what is this place again?" The person next to her says, Nature's Wonder. I know we just hired you, but come on." And she's like, "Nature's Wonder, welcome to Nature's Wonder. You want something to drink?" She seems flustered and like kind of annoyed at the gaudiness of this place. It's very like, Juniper, you can tell this place has nothing to do with nature. Like,
Yeah.
like it is very much a caricature of what nature would be. But it does smell good in here. It smells like cooked meats and a little bit of alcohol in the air. People are doing some day drinking. It's also an inn, so you can see that there's an upstairs that you can go to and buy a room. It's like a hotel. You're basically at Coco Key or Great Wolf Lodge.
It's a gimmick.
It is.
a
It's very
gimmick.
gimmicky. Very gimmicky. So as you come in,
Respect their hustle, though.
a few things that you've noticed. First, you notice a guy who's sitting at one of the circular tables in here. Again, the tables are all made of wood, and they have like these vines and stuff hanging off of them. This one guy, he's actually a lizard folk. So he is sitting at one of the tables. He has a long kind of alligator-like snout. He's got this kind of this hat that's made of like, you know what cargo shorts are made out of? It's kind of made out of that same similar material. He's wearing this like crocodile hunter looking vest, and he's kind of leaned back with these cut off jean shorts, and he's leaned back with his feet up on one of the table. He goes, "Hello there." He kind of nods his hat at you and raises one of his glasses, and he kind of raises an eyebrow and he says, welcome to my establishment. It's a pleasure to see you all. He kind of nods his head. Welcome. You looking for a room?
Well, I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking for in here.
Well, you guys new to town?
Yes, we actually are.
I can tell. So, what did you come to town for? Just for a good time, or what?
Yeah, we can go with that.
Bertha, drinks. Drinks on me. Come on. Come on.
Oh, I like those words.
So the half-orc woman who's in that kind of toga outfit, she starts pouring drinks half-heartedly and brings them over to you, just big jugs of what looks like standard beer. And he goes, you couldn't have even stretched for the good ones, eh? And she just kind of like shrugs her shoulders and he goes, I don't even know why I hired you. He just waves her off and she kind of like flips him off as she walks away. He shrugs his shoulders and he goes, I mean, you find whatever help you can get, am I right? So, good to meet you. Name's Randy, and you are?
Well, my name's Juniper.
Juniper. Nice to meet you, Juniper. And what about you there with the fur? Yeah, it's you, Leanna. Are you guys hearing her? I can't hear her.
She's super low.
I can't quite hear
Can
you.
you hear me?
There
Yeah,
you go.
That's better.
Can you hear me now? Yes, let's go. Okay, okay. Are you to me? Oh, are you talking to me? Am I that furry? Oh God.
I mean, you're not that furry, but I mean, you're not furry.
I mean, I guess you're right. Where's your accent?
Are you making fun of me?
No, my.
You taking the piss, mate?
I'm not taking the piss, mate.
He
I
kind of
asked
shrugs his
my
shoulders.
accent, bro.
What's your name?
Leanna.
Leanna, nice to meet you. And what about you, tiny one?
Esme?
Esme, and finally,
Can I just not tell you?
I don't care. Sure, why not? Anyway, name's Randy, like I said, and well, what do you want to know about the city? I've lived here all my life. Roll me an insight check, everybody. Roll me an insight check.
Huddle up. Everybody huddle up.
What's the nightlife?
I'm horrible today, Jesus Christ.
Oh, let's go.
Okay. With these insight checks, let's see. Are we just missing? Oh my God! What is with these natural 20s?
Let's go.
What the fuck? Leanna with the natural 20, Esme with a 19, Juniper with a 12, and Violet with a 9. With your combined rolls, I would say you can tell that this guy he's half-heartedly trying to get you to like pick his business for your place to stay if you're going to be in town for a while. He's definitely trying to like get on your good side like a business owner would be, but he seems genuinely, like a fine fellow. Like he's not overly weird. He's not like hitting on you or anything. He's just a dude who's running a business and wants some business. So he's giving you some free drinks and being hospitable for you. You haven't done anything to piss him off yet, so he seems pretty laid back. With that said, as you guys are kind of looking him up and down and thinking about what you want to ask him or talk to him about, R, Rana's character. So R, as you're walking along, it's midday and you've got your umbrella out. So you're walking through midday, kind of blocking the sunlight and blocking the sun that's shining off of the marble. And you walk by one of your favorite spots in town, which is the nature cafe that they're in. So as you walk by, you know Randy, you know him pretty well. He's a pretty laid-back guy, pretty chill. You've been to the bar a few times. It's a place you go to kind of escape because it's off the beaten path, and not a lot of people go here because it's kind of gimmicky. So it's a pretty laid-back place to drink and just collect your thoughts when you don't want to be at your own house. And so as you're kind of walking through, you're on your way to the club, but you think maybe you should step inside and maybe grab a beer, say hi to Randy, and collect your thoughts before a long night.
I describe myself.
Yeah. So
I come in?
as you open the door again, one of your favorite creatures in the world, this black panther that's laying near the bar. He kind of sees you come in. Someone you're familiar with. His name is Steve, the panther, and he rolls over onto his side and then gets up to see you. He's kind of has his tongue like hanging out as he puts his paws up on the front door and starts like groaning for you to come over and pet him, because he very much seems to have an affection towards you. And as you open the door, Randy kind of gives you a wave. You see these 4 people sitting around Randy with drinks, and you all turn to see this person that walks in. Go ahead and describe what R looks like.
So she's quite tall and like slender looking. She's got like very pale white skin, very long black hair that like kind of kisses her butt as she moves. She's wearing like a red corset that has like a hood attached to it and like a simple like white shirt underneath that. These like kind of long kind of black pants and these like thigh high like black boots that have like a small heel on them. And she kind of like puts her umbrella away as she comes in and walks over to Steve and she's like, "Oh, Steve, you're such a good little boy, aren't you, Steve?" And she's like giving him some love and like getting slobbered on as she like pets him. She doesn't mind because she likes Steve.
Steve's claws kind of like stick out of the cage just a little bit as it's kind of getting its chin scratched, its ears scratched. He kind of rolls over and lets you get to his belly. He almost acts more like a dog than even a panther, but very affectionate as he kind of slobbers all over you. You kind of wipe the slobber off. The rest of you are watching as this panther's treating her very differently than you guys were treated when it came in, as it just kind of roared at you suspiciously. But after you get done kind of petting Steve, he kind of closes his eyes, and it seems like your petting actually put him to sleep as he kind of closes his eyes, and you can hear him snoring. It's good to see you, welcome. These are my new friends. This is, remember, Esme is the one with the fur, right? No. No, Esme's the small one. Yes, this is Esme here. And then this one here is, Juniper for sure is the one with the fur. And then the one with that looks like an elf, maybe? I can't really tell. The hairs over her ears, but,
So bad.
What? No. Oh, did I get it wrong? My bad. My bad. That's
Very
Leanna.
wrong.
Leanna's the one with...
Yes.
Okay, Leanna's the one with the fur. Esme's the small one. And Juniper is the one with the white dress on, kind of flowery looking, no shoes. He kind of looks down at Juniper's bare feet. And then this one doesn't have a name, apparently. He points to Violet. Hello, everyone. This is R. R's one of our regulars. See, we have business. We serve people here.
Just like chuckles at Randy. It's like, well, Randy, usually we know our friends' names. But
I know
good job.
yours.
Yes, of course. She kind of like, any friends of Randy are friends of mine, and she like kind of gestures to Randy to like get a round in for you guys for free.
He kind of like points to the round that he's already gotten them. Which have you guys sipped any of your drink yet?
Oh, absolutely.
How much would you say you guys have drinking of your drinks? That'll decide whether or not Randy's going to get you another round, or if you're not even done with this one.
Maybe like
4
half.
sips.
4
Oh.
sips.
Okay. So it seems like they've just started on a round, and you can kind of tell the group is a bit suspicious of Randy, but at the same time, like, they seem pretty laid back right now. They seem pretty friendly for the most part. Go ahead and let's get a small description from everyone of what your characters look like for Rana. So we'll start with Esme, just like what you're wearing, about your size.
I think we said an inch, right?
I think we said 2.5 inches, because if you were only an inch, that would be like way small. I think we said 2.5 inches.
Okay, 2.5 inches. I look like a moth. I look like a little moth. So I'm a little fuzzy on my chest and on my boots, and my armor is like a brownish, I have this long silver hair, these black eyes, like these big black eyes, and I'm a little my skin is white, just white skin. I look like a tiny moth flying around. Very dull.
Yep. And that's Esme. So that's Esme. And then Violet.
So I'm wearing like kind of like a really cool black armory type situation, leather because I'm edgy and cool. And then I have like a side braid, brown hair. And then, I just mysterious. I'm tall and way bigger than Esme, that's for sure. So we contrast with that.
And they seem.
Yeah.
Esme, are you? Would you be like sitting on the edge of your glass of beer, or would you be sitting on Violet's shoulder, or where would you be at?
Do I get a regular sized glass of beer?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. I'll probably be like standing next to my beer, just like trying to sip it out of a straw. Aw.
Oh.
Yeah. The Bertha, the barmaid, she comes over and gives you a curly straw, a swirly straw that kind of comes down.
That's so nice.
Glad I could help, she kind of says as she pats you on the head, which is very condescending.
Like I'm a child. Bro, you could have squished me. You could have squished me, Bertha.
Sorry. She kind of shrugs her shoulders.
Take care, guys.
She walks away. Juniper, go ahead and describe yourself.
Well, I am an elf, so I have lovely elf ears, and I have really long white hair, and I wear a flower crown that I made because I grew up in the nature and the forest and stuff. I also make my dresses out of anything I can find, whether it's leaves, flowers, or curtains, or anything, because I taught myself how to make my clothes. And yeah, pretty simple.
All right. And then Leanna.
I'm a giant. Okay, is my mic working?
Yep.
Cool. Okay. I'm a giant, sexy lion lady with cool armor and cool big weapons, and I'm really tall, and I got big gold fangs because I'm awesome, and yeah, so
Hell yeah.
I'm just a big lion lady.
All right,
and,
so
my
that's
head's
the group.
a lioness.
Yes. And that's the group. So with that, Randy seems like nothing compared to them. He's just wearing his vest and his cut off jean shorts and his little hat that ties around the chin at the bottom. He basically is Steve Irwin, but a knockoff, obvious knockoff, from the costume store, Spirit Halloween version. As he kind of leans forward and he says, why don't you join us? You can come over and have a drink with us. We can all talk. I think they're new to town, so we can talk about whatever they want to talk about.
I don't see why not. I sort of pull up a chair and sit with you all.
So you pull up a chair. You guys are all kind of centered around this circular table, and as you guys talk back and forth a little bit and get to know each other, nobody comes into this place. I mean, again, it's dead. It seems like this place might even be going out of business as you guys are looking around. You've known it for a while. This place is hemorrhaging funds, and for the most part, it's probably because of its gimmicky nature. You may have even been looking, it's up to you, but you may have even been looking to acquire this as a plate, your own little bar to have or something on the side, because you probably have enough money to do so at this point. And Randy, he's kind of scratching his neck and he says, so, what can how can we help it? Me and we've been here for at least a while. I've never actually asked you how long you've been in the city. How long you've been here?
At least a few years. I kind of all blur into one when it's one big party and it never stops.
That's true. That's true.
How long you've been here?
And when night comes early around here, I mean, who knows what day or time it is? Honestly, sometimes 4 o'clock, the sun's already setting. So he kind of nods his head to the silence. So
I actually have a question.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So we're planning on going to a magic show tonight, and then maybe getting some drinks after. I was just wondering how safe it is at night.
Will?
I would say, if you're smart enough, it's safe as anything, really. But if you're a drunk fool and you go down the wrong alley, as any city, you might not come out of it alive.
Whoa.
Yes.
I think
Well,
that's
we
a
have
pretty fair assessment of the situation. Yeah, I'd say at night, just make sure you keep your purse, tightly wrapped around you, or in a pocket, where no one can find it. And also, yeah, just make sure you keep your wits about you at night, because there's every once in a while, when people are drunk, they do stupid things. So I'd say, yeah, that's probably good advice. Good advice. Oh, nice. Nice. Way to keep them in the town and not run them off. He kind of laughs and then, makes a side eye to Bertha, like she's been, scaring customers off.
What would run people off in this town?
Hell if I know. I'm not really a nightlife kind of person. I just kind of run things here, and then
I suppose we did have a bit of a vampire problem a few years ago, but it's not really an issue anymore.
Are we really going to talk about that? That's just not going to want him to stay in the city.
I mean, we're tough girls. We can handle it.
Yeah. Elaborate.
Okay, it was just
Wait, what?
rumors. It was just rumors. I never saw a vampire. Never.
Oh, I remember hearing about the vampires. Oh, God. So, yeah, wait. They come out every night?
I mean, like I said, I don't really go out at night, but as far as I heard, the gods took care of it. Isn't that right?
Yes. They have a... I help the guards.
Oh, you got muted. What happened?
Oh.
You said you helped the guards, then it cut out.
Yeah, my internet's a bit funny, I think. Well, I help the guards round up a few vampires here and there, but it's less than it was. It's perfectly safe.
All right.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Less still means that there's a chance.
Yeah. Well, I'm not really, like I said, I'm not really one to talk about it because, I mean, look at me. He kind of opens his mouth. No fangs here. Not a vampire. So
I feel that's something a vampire would say, I think.
roll an
Yeah.
insight check. All right.
OMG.
Yeah, he rolled a 4 deception. So he kind of shrugs his shoulders, but you can tell that he's hiding something. You're not sure what, but he's definitely hiding something.
So why does this vampire topic make you so uncomfortable, Steve Irwin?
I don't know who Steve Irwin is, but I will say, just vampires, they're creepy and ugly, and he kind of looks over across the table and stops himself, and he goes, they're dangerous.
Was that a question? Are they dangerous?
It depends on the vampire, I guess. You don't really want to get caught in the wrong, like I said, the wrong alleyway. You're right. You don't want to get caught in the wrong alleyway. I'd say, steer clear of big, really populated areas if you want to avoid anything that might be a vampire. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they're all gone, but, R says there might be some, but... Excuse me. Hey, Bertha, drink. Bertha kind of brings over.
Larry?
He kind of scratches his neck a little bit, and he just seems nervous as Bertha brings him a drink. Everyone, go ahead and roll me perception checks.
Oh boy, my perception is great.
Let's go.
No. Oh, no.
Finally, a 1.
Damn.
And then
I have rolled, I think.
there. Yep, it went in. Yep.
Yeah.
-1 perception. Nice.
I'm very charismatic though.
Yeah.
So-
No worries. I would say everyone kind of misses what it's hard to tell what he's knocking back. Leanna, you actually smell with your Leonin nose. You smell a hint of iron coming from his cup.
A smelly smell.
A smelly smell that smells
What is that
smelly.
A smelly smell. I smell smelly.
Yeah, you smell some iron coming from his cup.
All right, I'm gonna take. Can I kind of like kick Esme? I'm sorry, I don't kick Esme. I don't kick Esme.
Yeah, that would
Fly
probably
me across the room.
punt her
I
across
just
the room.
kind of like look over you guys, and I'm like, hey, like you say, there's iron or
It smells irony,
irony.
like it has like a
blood,
metallic
blood,
tinge.
blood. Yeah, no, I look at them and I kind of like do the eyebrow thing, and then kind of back over there, and then I'm just like, all right, well, is there any way I can get them alone for a second in this area, or even?
It's the front of a bar. Think of like a small bar, like a small theme bar. There's probably not a lot of places for you to go because there's like no offshoot rooms or anything. You'd have to go upstairs or out of the bar to get out of earshot of Randy and the barmaid.
All right, it's too risky to kind of like fight this dude or try to get any more information because my instincts are telling me to like stab him. There's blood right there. That's nasty. And
He hands
I
the
don't
drink
know
back
who
to
these people
Bertha, the cup back to Bertha, and she brings it back behind the bar.
Yeah, no, that's. I'm not messing with that, but I kind of keep it to myself. But let them know, like, hey, something sketch is really, really up.
He genuinely seems like he's trying to protect you from vampires, from what you can tell with that insight earlier as well, Esme. He is not trying to convince you to, like, become, killed by him or, like, eaten by him or anything. Like, he doesn't seem interested in that. He seems like he's got plenty of his own blood to drink. But yeah, you can tell that he definitely has a vampiristic quality to him. As you're looking, he seems to... He probably has retractable fangs is probably what he has. And with his alligator mouth, it's hard to tell because it's such a long snout. But
yeah, I just don't really trust vampires. I'm not a big fan of the whole blood and all that. It's weird. My character. So it's like, I don't like it.
He seems definitely a bit sketch, but at the same time, he doesn't seem like he's trying to hurt you.
Yeah, I trust him, but don't like him.
So he kind of says, well, I mean, look at the time. He kind of moves his wrist down, and you can kind of see he's wearing an old looking like clockwork watch, and it's kind of ticking away. And he says, well, sun's gonna be setting here in about an hour, and then you guys, I'm sure you got all kinds of plans. What are you guys doing in the city?
We have a magic show, actually. If you would like to join us, you're always welcome, the both of you.
I mean, I've got to run the bar, but, I don't know. Oh, you've got to run the club, don't you?
Yeah, I was at 8 and we have an annoying noble staying with us at the moment, so...
Well, that's unfortunate. Annoying noble. Ugh. I hate nobles. And there's so many of them in the fucking city,
Yes,
always
and
coming in and
so
out.
pompous.
There's a lot of them in the city. Can we rob them?
Whoa! Rob them! I don't know why.
It's a joke, but like.
Oh,
around
okay,
here,
sure.
Little ha ha hee hee.
right? Little ha hee hee hee.
He kind of like
I mean,
looks
we
you guys up and
can.
down, looks at the two rogues.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm
I
up for
just
it if you
made
guys are.
She's so silly sometimes, you guys.
Oh my god. So let me see here.
We have the magic show we gotta head to.
What do you know what the name of the magic show is? I can tell if it's going to be good or not.
No clue, but some dude let us in for free, so we thought might as well just see some magic.
I mean, that's something you'll find a lot here. If you're good at talking with people, you'll probably get into a lot of places for free.
I mean, I wouldn't say we're good at it.
I mean, apparently you were good enough to get into a magic show for free, so... Was
Fair
it an
enough,
expensive
yeah.
magic show, like 10 platinum pieces per ticket?
No, 2 gold, actually.
Oh. 2 gold per ticket? That's not so bad. Or was it...
Platinum pieces? What kind of show is that?
I mean, it's better than if, like, it was 2 gold for the lot of you, then that would be a pretty shitty magic show, I'd probably say. It was 2 gold for the lot of you.
Yeah.
It was not 2 gold each. It was 2 gold total. He's kind of looking at you and he goes, no, You didn't. You're not going to that, are you? There's better shows to go to.
Wow.
I mean, we are new to the city. If you would like to direct us to
Yeah.
a better show for free,
There's all kinds of places to go. They usually do shows at the, what's the name of that place again? He kind of hollers over to the bartender. She seems like she has been here a while too. Seems like she's lived in the city a while. Again, half-orc lady. You can tell that she is not really caring too much about her job right now, but she gets excited when you're asking about like the city and nightlife. Like this seems like something that she's into. And she says, well, you could go to, sorry, I forget her voice. She's the half-orc, so you could go to the, Euphoria Club. Aw owns that one, right? Aw? That one's pretty good. You could also go to Mount Olympia, which is this kind of theme place where they do magic shows. And those ones are way more expensive. And then, or you could go to the market. They sell different things in the market at night. Those can always be fun. There's another club out there. This is a competing club to ours club. That one's called the Black Mirror. Black Mirror, you can go there. Yeah, those are all places you could go. I'd be happy to join you all if you wanted me to.
Go pass.
Randy says, you've got to work, love. You've got to work. And she just kind of like kicks the bar, scares the panther, wakes it up.
aw.
Steve rolls around.
I like the sound of Euphoria. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
There are less vampires in Euphoria than in the Black Mirror, that's for sure. That's what I've heard anyway.
Ooh.
I feel like side. I feel like a club rivalry would be like a Step Up movie. Like they.
Oh my god, yes, I agree.
That sounds awesome. As you guys continue talking, chit-chatting back and forth, the sun does indeed set on the town. You can see it happening around 4 o'clock, like Randy said. As it does, a new couple walks into the bar with you, and they seem like a regular human couple as they walk in. And as they look around and see you all, the husband kind of whispers to the wife, as you can tell, they have rings on that are kind of shining in the light in here. Kind of whispers to her, and then they both raise their eyebrows, and then the husband spits on the floor and walks out.
Whoa!
Both of them. They looked very
How is
fancy.
that?
Randy, he kind of shrugs his shoulders, and he goes, they look like they were, either very rich or nobles, and they probably, thought they were going to somewhere fancy. When they walked in and saw this, they turned their little prissy noses up at it.
Are all nobles like that?
It depends on them. A lot of them are. They live a life of luxury, and that kind of makes them very expectant of everything. You know, wherever they go, they expect the best.
Where do these nobles hang out? I'm just curious.
Yeah,
Depends.
where they hang out.
Depends.
Sure, it just depends. You can find them all over the place. A lot of times they'll be at the clubs because they're able to draw crowds and buy all the drinks they want and hang out with their other noble friends. Yeah, find them there usually.
Well, I hope that they will not expect us robbing them.
Well, they usually run with people to protect them, so I'd be careful of that.
Oh.
Usually. Just depends on how much money they have, you know? Less
Okay.
money, less guards.
Mm. So
You,
the more people they have around them, the more money they have.
Yeah, that's a good way of usually judging whether or not someone's got a lot of moolah.
Wow.
So, the club's open in a few hours. I'm sure you gotta go, the rest of you, feel free to stay here if you want. I can give you some discounts on some rooms, or go out and do your nightlife thing. But yeah, I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere.
All right, sounds good.
All right. So you guys get a little bit of information about the city from here. You kind of learn a little bit about the locals, which seem to vary from could be vampire, could not be vampire, but a lot of people who live here are into that whole nightlife thing, whether it's having a gimmicky bar or having a place for people to stay, a ritzy hotel or whatever it might be. They're buying into that whole Las Vegas atmosphere. Randy also mentions, just be careful. Don't spend all your money on the casinos either. Okay? They always stack the house against you. Always here. They like to rip the nobles off. So, while you don't look like nobles, they'll still rip you off.
Okay, have I left at this point? I imagine I've left at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so. So the group of you, the four of you guys, what would you like to do? It's closing up on like close to 6 o'clock if you want to go to that magic show, which was this goblin again named Gil, but he's not actually a goblin. He's a halfling.
I feel like we're all thinking about finding some nobles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fuck that magic show, man. Especially after finding out that it's actually a shitty one. Hard pass.
Okay. So, as you guys are walking out of the bar and kind of back to the main roads of the city, kind of back onto the beaten path, you are looking around for any kind of noble or person who might have a lot of money. Go ahead and roll me some perception checks, everybody. Perception checks.
Oh. When it comes to money, you know I do good.
Hey,
Oh, you guys are carrying. Let's go.
these are some pretty good rolls. All right. So with these 4 rolls, I would say combined together, you guys look around, and what you see for the most part are groups of people heading in different directions to different things, different nightlife events. You see a large group of nobles that look like, you can tell that there are multiple nobles in this group because they have different armored guards. One of the nobles looks like a female elf, like a straight up, like high elf. She is walking, which seems like the most amount of guards that are dressed in this, like emerald armor, like this beautiful green emerald armor that shines with the torchlight that's lit up the city right now. As they walk along, she is in line with another noble who's got his own little smaller set of guards. He seems like he is a large orc, maybe even full orc. It's hard to tell if he's half orc or full orc. It's hard, but what his armored guards are very different. They have like bone armor, and he's dressed more in kind of like this garb that is more like drapery. He's just got all this kind of drapery all around him, and this beautiful, like these beautiful large earrings that hang down at like bone chandeliers almost. And they're walking together and talking just back and forth. They're both speaking Elvish, by the way. So you see them going towards the club. You again see the backs of like golden armored guards kind of heading in that direction, and then large crowds also just heading in that direction. Like a lot of people are going towards Euphoria. Black Mirror does not quite have quite as many people going to it, but you see another set of nobles kind of heading in that direction. Smaller guard ships, maybe 3 or 4 guards each, dressed in just tuxedos, dresses, you know, kind of nice things. Doesn't seem like there are any nobles around that are like easily pickpocketable, but anytime you can get in with somebody or convince somebody to be your friend kind of thing, that makes these kinds of things much easier. So, but just sneaking up, probably the only person that could get past a group of guards would be Esme.
Okay. We also have very beautiful women in our party. Let's add that to the
That's true.
to the mix.
So, what is it that you guys want? Just like jewelry, money, weapons? What are you looking for?
I would say preferably money.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Money
Money and
also-
weapons.
Yeah, weapons. But if we could find like nobles that we hate, we could like also just have some fun with them. You know what I'm saying?
I have one in mind, but I like, since we saw people from my village slash, family type of situation,
Mhm.
but I don't think I would be able to do that without being unnoticed. But hey, we already hate them, so like, that's one thing down the list.
Don't have to worry about like learning to hate this person.
Nah, if I hate them, you guys hate them, right? It's like
Yeah.
a conformity thing, right?
Yes.
Herd mentality. Let's do this.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you guys are heading towards Euphoria then? Since that's
Yeah.
where the golden armored guards were headed? Okay. So as you head towards Euphoria, the sun has set, the city is dark. People around are chit-chatting and talking as you're walking among the crowd. And you watch as your crowd that you're walking with slowly kind of funnels down into a line that is entering into the club Euphoria. Which, go ahead and, Rana, describe what you think Euphoria would look on the outside. It's going to be a white marble building, but you can kind of describe what it has for features if you'd like. Otherwise, I can do it for you if you don't want to.
Sure. I guess it's like a big marble building. It's got like two double doors that are like sort of red, kind of velvety, kind of the doors. There are like a couple of like hanging like wall sconces like outside that like give this nice little like fire effect. And it says like Euphoria in like this like magical sort of like writing like above the door. And there's like a couple of guards outside just to make sure like no one has any fights if they get too drunk.
Okay.
And are your guards dressed in armor? Are they just dressed in like tuxedos? Are they, do they look kind of like bouncers at a club or what?
They're sort of dressed in like these like really like fine like sort of like similar like velvet tuxedos. They're not really wearing any armor, but they're quite like beefy guys. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So as you guys kind of funnel down into the line, you see the backs of those golden guards entering into the building as they seem to have gone through what looks like a VIP line to a secondary doorway and kind of cut the line basically. So you guys are stuck in a line that looks like it's going to take quite a while to get through. You're about half a mile away from the club itself in line. So it's about a half a mile long line to get in. Anything you guys want to do, or do you want to just wait it out?
What could we do? Let's brainstorm.
If you can imagine, there are a lot of people around you. So if there's stuff you want to do with like random people around you, I can describe that. You just tell me what you want to do, and we'll involve some random people in the line.
Okay. Well, we do have Juniper and Violet who could potentially trick somebody or make friends.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
if you want to look for people who look like they would be into that.
Okay. Violet and Juniper, roll me perception checks. 15 all. Okay. So, looking around, Violet and Juniper, in the line here, the people that are around you, for the most part, there isn't anyone that sticks out that's like, man, we should become friends with them. They seem powerful, because you're all in the same line, which is like the pleb line, like the line for people who are just like regular people. But you notice kind of coming down the side of your guys' line with their own small group of what looks like 3 guards is what looks like a lesser noble. He is probably in his early 30s, human, kind of scruffy beard that comes down into like a Jack Sparrow braided beaded like goatee. And he's got long dreadlocks. He's wearing a beautiful red velvety tuxedo and this kind of like tie that shines and sheens with the light, the firelight. It's like a blue, royal blue color. He's wearing all these rings all across his fingers. I mean, there's at least 20 rings, like 2 on each finger. as he's walking, and he's kind of like brushing people off who are like putting their hands on him to like that. So like some of them are like, take us with you, take us up there, and he just kind of like brushes them off a bit. You guys see him approaching from the back. He's about to kind of walk up on you. What do you guys want to do? He seems like he would be a good person to maybe become friends with.
Befriend him?
How would you do it? Tell me what you do.
I don't even know. I don't know how to make friends. It's so scary, but I want to.
Real life skills. Real life skills.
Oh my god.
Oh, this isn't the internet.
You just tell me what you do, and I'll tell you what to roll.
All right, I kind of yell, "Yo, you!"
He raises an eyebrow, and you seem to have caught his attention. He's kind of near you, like he's a little bit past where you guys are in line. He's walked past you. He's on your right. He's kind of walked past you again. There's like these, you know how they have those ropes that keep people in line. You guys are like in the ropes right now, and he's on the outside of the ropes. As he kind of stops for a second, one of the guards says, "Silence," and he kind of like he puts his hand on the guard's shoulder, and he's like, come on then, let them talk. What do you have to say there?" He kind of like does this like flourish with his rings in his hands, and he says, "Name is Casper, and you?"
Casper.
I give a firm, very firm, almost two handshake, and I go, "Leanna."
He kind of like
show my strength.
He kind of goes like this with his hand and like rubs it a little bit, like he's like you kind of heard it, and he goes, "Yes. Well, it's good to meet you, Leanna. And what is it that you need from me? You waved me down, didn't you? Can I help you?
See.
Would you like an
this is the
autograph? I can
part-
get you one of those easily."
See, you don't know what to do after you get their attention. That's the hard part. I don't know. I was wondering maybe you can have a chat. You could all just see what it's like. I don't know. We're new around here. You seem like an interesting guy. And I kind of just want to like impress him and like maybe like look all tough and see if he thinks I'm cool. You know, maybe if like that idea, like if a celebrity sees you, you're gonna be like, "Wow, that person looks cool."
Mhm.
I'll be like, they're gonna hang out with him, like you always thought when you were younger. I don't know, but yeah, no, I just try to act tough and cool, and like I try to like be his friend because I don't know what to say to him.
No, what
be
you
his
said is
friend.
good. No, what you said is good. He says, "You're new in town, is that so? And are these people with you as well?" And he points to Esme, Violet, Juniper, and a few people that are behind you guys in line. He points to like a big kind of group of you. So he can't really tell exactly who's with you.
Mm.
You're going to have to correct
Oh
him.
my gosh, sorry, you're cutting out. What did you say at the last part?
Oh, you're good. So he has pointed to like a group of people in line that includes your party, but also like 5 other people, like random people. And he says like, "Are all these people with you?"
Oh no, just me and my girls. That's it. Not them.
So you point out your 3 girls and kind of huddle up together. And he goes, "Oh, 3, 4. We can probably take 4. I mean, how long are you going to be in the city?"
As long as we want.
Good answer. No
I don't
expectations.
know.
Just here to have
You
fun,
guys
huh?
think- Yep.
Okay. Well, guards, lift the chains. Let's see. So as the guards kind of lift the chains for you guys to walk out of the line, a few people are like moaning and groaning, like, fuck you! Always going after the pretty girls. One of them kind of like throws something from the line that one of his guards catches and like throws to the ground. "Don't throw anything at your majesty." And the guy says, "You don't have to call me your majesty, okay? We don't have to go there." He kind of waves his hand a bit. He seems a bit pompous, but at the same time, He does not seem necessarily interested in being like the center of attention. Like he doesn't seem like interested in that. So as you guys get led out of the line, he leads you up the VIP line into the back kind of like side door of the club. And as he does, the music begins to get louder and louder as you guys approach in. And people seem to be like dancing and like bumping as you see it. There's like a lot of like these kind of magical looking lights kind of shining back and forth. A large looking bouncer kind of stops you all, and he's got a name tag on. His name is Bertram. He is like a very kind of burly looking we're gonna say, we didn't come up with a race for Bertram, did we? We're gonna say Bertram is, we're gonna say he's a Leonin too. So as a Leonin, he stands in front of you, again dressed just like all the other bouncers, except for he's just a bit bigger and he's wearing sunglasses. And he says, "Are they all with you?" And the noble you're with, he says, "Yes, they're all with me. They're coming with me inside. Let's go. Off to the side there, big man." And Bertram kind of raises an eyebrow and he says, "Don't call me big man." He like puts his hand on the noble's chest, and the guards like all draw their weapons, and the noble kind of like puts his hands up and he's like, "Okay, all right. Don't need to be pushy about it. Are you gonna let us in or not?" And the guy kind of nods his head. Bertram nods his head, and he looks you all up and down. He says to the four of you, he says, "Keep your weapons away. I don't want to see them. You hear me?" What do you guys say?
All right.
No weapons.
Yeah, sure.
Good. Welcome to Euphoria. As you guys enter in, you're pushing through people. The noble's kind of leading you. The guards are pushing people off to the side. You see a bunch of people bumping and dancing, jumping up and down with the magical lights kind of shining everywhere. Where are you at in the club? Like, are you up on the top floor?
Yeah, so I imagine the like club is sort of like split into like the main floor where there's like a few like booths, and then there's like an upper floor that kind of like a balcony, and like there's kind of like a U-shaped kind of like couch where like R would spend most of her time like watching everyone.
All right.
And there's sort of like by the bar there's like this like black like velvet door with like gilded like gold around it that like is like for like VIPs.
Oh, okay.
You know? Yeah.
So, next to the special door for the VIPs, you see a few of those gold-plated armored guards, and they seem to be kind of blocking one of the VIP rooms. You also see R on this like U-shaped couch near one of the rooms as well. And behind the bar, which is on the main floor, there is a young half-elf looking girl. She has this kind of like curly brunette hair. She's wearing these glasses that have like these light up lights on the edges of them, and she's serving drinks and like talking with people and smiling a big smile. She seems really friendly and welcoming as she kind of waves at you all from behind the bar, kind of waves for you to come over but isn't expectant of it. She doesn't wait for you to come over. She just waves for you to come over and then goes back to what she's doing. So she isn't paying attention of whether or not you want to or not. But those are some directions that you guys can go. So what are you feeling?
I want to talk to the noble a little bit.
Okay. The one who brought you in here?
Yes.
Okay. He's kind of on his way over to the bar as you flutter in front of him, and he goes, "Oh, can I help you?" "Yes, sorry. Actually, I'm not going to yell it, but he's yelling over the music. "Can I help you?" It's like that.
Yeah. So they called you My Majesty earlier. So what are you like majesting, or what's up with that?
He smiles. He says, "They call me the King of the Sea." And he kind of like raises his eyebrows. I don't have any land in my name, but a lot of ships. He kind of nods his head.
Okay, all right. So is that why you're entering through the normal people door, or what? What was the reason for that?
We went through the VIP, baby.
All right.
He kind of
okay.
is like pumping up and down, like. So yeah, he did take you guys up the VIP line.
Oh, okay. I thought he was like behind us.
Now
Okay.
he seems a bit like smaller than most nobles, and you can tell why now because he doesn't own any land. He has a name to himself, as you were told. He does have a name, and that like dukedom or that kingdom that he kind of rules over is mostly just over like a few docks, probably like a small area of the ocean, kind of out there in the boonies, if you will.
Okay.
So he's not super rich, but he's got enough to have a few guards with him and wear a bunch of fancy jewelry that looks like it came from a treasure chest. Like a pirate treasure chest.
So
Are you all getting drinks? You don't have to stay with me. Don't feel free not to stay with me. Do whatever you want. Welcome.
Oh, I get a
We'll
drink.
stay with you. Yeah, we'll stay with you if this round is on you.
Sure. Round's on me. Let's go. He's
Let's
kind of
go.
like he's like pushing through the crowd as he's like bouncing.
And a straw, please.
I could do that. I could get a straw.
Yeah.
He flags down the bartender. Kaylee! She kind of looks up with her little light up glasses and she smiles and kind of comes over. Oh my god, it is so good to see you. She kind of like grabs his hand and like kind of rubs over the rings a little bit, and he goes, Kaylee, my love, my beauty, can we get some drinks? I got money, you know I got money. He shoves some what looks like golden doubloons over. They don't even look like regular gold, like they look like pirate money as he shoves it over, and she swipes it. She drops into her drawer and starts making up some drinks with this kind of bluish tinge to it. They look like some cocktails that have like a bluish green tint to it, and she pushes them all over to you, puts some sticks into some pineapples and sticks them on the top, and shoves them over to you. And he says, thank you so much, Kaylee, love you, babe. And she kind of like nods her head, and she's like kind of dancing to the music, and she says, I love you too. All right, I'm going to the next people. Okay, oh, I love you too. Okay, bye. And she kind of moves on. She seems super friendly. Maybe someone to kind of become friends with us. She seems to know the clientele pretty well, so someone you could maybe ask a lot of questions to in terms of that. She seems very knowledgeable about the place as she's flagging people down by name, like kind of calling them over or helping them out by name. Yeah, you guys have your drinks. They're awesome. They're like Mai Tais basically. Yeah, and it's a pretty nice start. You actually notice them over at the bar too. You can decide whether or not you want to go interact with them, but who would you imagine is around you at the bar, like not at the bar, at the U-shaped couch that you're at? Like who would you think would be sitting with you?
There's like a couple of guards like standing, I guess, around my section, but there's like a really pretty like elf lady sitting next to me. She like red hair, like really curly red hair, and she's sort of like seems like she's having a good time. I would say that I would probably, out spotting you guys, would probably like send one of her guards down to like invite you guys up if you wanted to come up. Yeah.
So do you call them over, or do you?
Like I would like send probably like a guard down to bring in.
Okay. So yeah, one of the guards from the club kind of comes over to you guys while you're at the bar. But before that happens, do you guys want to say anything to Kaylee or anybody else around before someone new comes into the scene?
No, I think just cheers to Mr. Noble.
All right.
Thanks for the drink.
So you have your drinks, you finish them up, and as you do, the guard comes over. And he says, hey, the owner wants to see you. And he kind of points over to R, who gives you a wave from the oval couch. What do you guys do?
Let's go up. Let's go up, I say.
Let's go up. Yeah.
VIP sounds like a lot of money.
All right. So the guard brings you over to the 4 people who you met at the nature gimmick bar now show up here. You remember their names. They are Esme, Juniper, Leanna, and Violet. And they approach you. They seem excited to be at Euphoria. They just got a drink in them. You're still unsure of why they're here in the town, but they seem ready to mess with some nobles, which you heard was their plan. So,
Oh, welcome to Euphoria. If you want any shots or anything, they're on me. I'm curious. You're a band of seem to be driven women, and I'm wondering what you're up to, really. If you'd like to tell me, you don't have to. She sort of like brings over some shots for you all and stuff.
Kaylee comes over. Oh my God! Here's some shots for everybody. Everybody's shots, and I want one too. I'm taking this one. I'm taking it, and she shoots it back.
Yes. Love that. Maybe we'll tell you in a few more shots, I would say. I do have a question though, Commander. Do I have to drink like the normal amount, or is it like very small? Or
You're
like...
magical, so you can decide. You can decide whether or not you can hold back a bunch of alcohol, or if like a tiny sip of a shot would just have you blasted for the rest of the night. You can decide.
That's so funny. I think I want to be blasted. I think that's so funny.
You
All
just
right,
like
so-
knock out once.
Esme, you're about as tall as the shot glass that you got. Maybe a little taller. You're about half an inch taller than the shot glass that you got. And as you start to sip it and like knock it back, you immediately start feeling it. Go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw in the top left of your character sheet. Constitution saving throw. Good, 16. You're able to hold it down. You take the shot and you're feeling okay. You're a little bit woozy, but you're still upright, or I guess wings right.
Okay.
So as you guys are kind of looking around, I would like Violet to roll me a history check, please.
Got it.
Whoa.
0.
Wow.
Got it.
Sexy. I know nothing.
You are too busy having a good time to even
Mind
fucking care.
empty. Mind empty.
Mind
No
empty,
We
ready
had a
for
mission.
shots.
We had a mission and now I'm drunk and you just don't remember anything.
Juniper, as you are kind of looking around, I would like you to roll me a perception check, please, Juniper. Ooh. All right. With a 20. As you're looking around, Juniper, you see a group of elves that are themed as if they are seasons. And they are kind of doing like a dance circle. One of them is winter, one of them is summer, one of them is spring, and one of them is fall. And they're all kind of like dancing in a circle, kind of just vibing to the music. And one of them catches your eye. Actually, you can kind of decide. There's a guy and a girl in this circle. They both kind of catch your eye. Both of them kind of wave for you to come over and dance with them. Do you want to go?
Yes. I
Okay.
do.
So as you kind of get up and go to dance, you all see Juniper going over to a group of elves to dance with them, and they kind of bring her into this little dance circle. As they do, who do you think you would put your focus on, Juniper? Would you put your focus on the guy who's dressed like a winter elf, or the girl who's dressed like a summer elf?
Oh, definitely the girl.
Okay.
No question.
All right. So as you guys are kind of dancing, she says, "You are very gorgeous." She kind of like, she says that over the music. What do you say?
Me? Look at you. God damn.
She has like this beautiful, almost sunflower yellow skin. Like it's very, very yellow. She's wearing a flower dress, and her eyes are very bright green. And she's kind of smiling at you, and as you're dancing, and she says, "Where are you from?" She kind of like yells it over the music. She says, I'm from Wisteria. And she kind of like points to the south, which is a kind of sunnier location off this continent.
Oh. Huh. This is kind of tough because I'm from the forest. I don't really have a location.
You can just say the forest.
Oh, okay. I'm just from, I just grew up in the woods.
Grew up in the woods?
Yeah.
Wow, that must have been amazing.
Yeah.
She seems like enamored with that idea. She seems very, well, if she's here, she's probably wealthy. So she seems like she's got some wealth on her as she's kind of dancing. The guy who has this kind of wintry white skin and bleach white hair, he says, I'm going to get drinks. Do you two want any drinks? And the summer elf, she says, yes, give me a sunrise.
You know what? I'll try the same thing she's having.
2 sunrises. He kind of nods his head and heads off to go grab some drinks. She says, what's your name?
My name's Juniper. What's yours?
Elsa. She kind of nods her head.
Oh, that's kind of ironic. Maybe that's what
I'm
she
glad
said
you caught
somewhere
that. It was supposed to be ironic. She's kind of smiling at you, and as she's kind of holding your hands and like you're dancing back and forth, your hands are getting like nice and warm. She has a nice warmth coming off of her, and she seems enamored with you, maybe romantically. You can't really tell, but she is most certainly enamored with you and definitely interested because you don't look like a royal elf or an elf that grew up in wealth. You look very normal. You look like like almost like a wood elf because you're wearing like clothes that are made out of, drapery and twigs.
Right.
To her, you seem just different than what she seems used to. And then we're gonna roll to the next. So I like when we're at things like this. I like going from kind of scene to scene.
Scene to scene, yeah.
So we're gonna roll over to Leanna. Leanna, you see Bertram, that head of security, the Leonin, and he seems like he's in an argument with somebody. Like he's fighting like with someone, like yelling at them over the music. You can't really tell what they're arguing about, but you see the person he's arguing with is like a kind of small looking raven man. Like he looks like he's like a raven. He's got black feathers and a black beak, and he's not like tiny, but he's probably half your size, and definitely even smaller on Bertram, the Leonin head of security. As he goes to push Bertram just stands there as the little, it's called a Kenku, by the way. The little Kenku raven guy like keeps pushing him and is actually pushing himself back every time he tries to push him out of his way. Seems like this little raven guy is trying to get through, and you lock eyes with the raven guy, and he like waves you over to like come help him.
Okay, I walk over and I'm like, hey man, what seems to be the trouble? And I kind of like look up the other Leonin and kind of like I'll dap him up a little bit because it's another
he
guy.
just
and I'm
like,
hey, what's up?
He kind of like looks at you and like raises his eyebrows and then rolls his eyes. And the Kenku, so Kenkus can't actually speak their own language. They don't have their own language. They mimic off of other people. And so he mimics the voice. The little raven guy mimics the voice of the bartender. And he says, "Can't go through." And kind of shrugs his little raven shoulders. And he kind of like, if you look at him, he looks very homely. He doesn't look like he has a lot of money. Looks like just like a kind of regular person, but seems like he's trying to get in and this guy won't let him in. Do you want to try and help him or no? You don't have to.
Yeah, I wanna be like, why won't he let him in? What seems to be the reason?
Bertram kind of raises an eyebrow and he says, "This Kenku was caught stealing last week." And then the Kenku's eyes get kind of big and he like shakes his head like, no.
Can I don't know if I trust more, but I mean, like, I mean, I feel like it's too much of something that I want to deal with to try to fight for this freaking bird that I just met. And I mean,
So
this other dude's
that's the
cool
fun
as-
of this encounter, this small little encounter here, is you get to decide which side you want to be on, you know?
I'm gonna be on the Leonins. These are freaking Leonins, awesome. Like, I'm gonna take like cool freaking line people over a bird over any day.
The bird person, he's kind of like, he like shrugs his shoulders and he like shakes his head, and he says in like what seems like a female's voice, "Come on, come on."
Better luck next time, sport.
Fuck you, it says as it storms off with a new voice. And then you kind of hear in the distance, you hear like a different kind of voice say, "Fuck this place, let's go somewhere else." And another group of Kenku kind of come out of the line that they were standing in, and they follow this Kenku away. And the big guy Bertram, the Leonin, he kind of like nods his head at you and he says, "All right, I see you. He's got a big toothy grin.
That's right.
You making fun of me?
No, not doing that. Definitely not doing that.
He kind of smiles and he says, "How you liking the club?"
I mean, I'm enjoying it. It's kind of fun. The action's nice. Thank you for not beating me up or beating that dude up.
"I won't beat you up as long as you don't do anything to make me beat you up."
I'll try my best, and I'll stay on my best behavior.
He kind of like puts a pinky out, like, "Pinky promise?"
Pinky promise.
Okay. Do you pinky promise him?
I do.
Okay.
He's my homie.
He kind of laughs a bit and he hollers, "Kaylee, another drink for this one." And he turns around and Kaylee says, I got you, Bertram. Drinks, come on. Hey, you, come over here, drink. Do you go over?
Drinks. I do go over.
Okay.
Drinks, shots.
So
Shots.
Kaylee makes you a drink that's like almost like a it seems like it's like a Red Bull mixer almost. It's like an energy kind of drink. And she puts this little sucker on the top that looks like a paw. She says, "This one's Bertram's favorite. He loves this drink."
We stand Kaylee.
So you get a drink. We'll call it the paw print, and the paw print's like an energy Hennessy mix with the sucker that comes with it, like a paw print sucker. And we're gonna head back to R and Violet and Esme, who are on the oval couch. And R, you see one of the golden guards kind of comes up to you from the VIP room. And he says, "The prince would like a word."
See, excuse me a second. She like gives a kind of dry smile to you guys, as if to say, "Fucking hell." And then she sort of like stands up and is like, "Lead the way then."
The guard kind of stops you, and he says, "All of you."
Oh.
I kind of like look him up and down, and I'm like, "You need to be careful giving orders in my club. I don't care who you are."
Roll me an intimidation check with advantage.
I'm just
Okay.
behind her like, period.
Does that work? Could that go through? It didn't go through on the other one, but
that's okay.
It's a 24.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Let me. Yeah, there's no way he beats that. Okay. So the guard, he kind of like puts his one hand up and his spear back, and he kind of takes a step back away from you, and he says, "Right this way." And he leads you over to the VIP room, of which he opens the door to it. It's got this like, you said, describe what the VIP room door looks like again. I forgot what you said.
It's like black kind of velvet with like gilded, like gold kind of like intricate design around it, and like the handle's like this like really cool, like it looks like a ruby, like a giant ruby, but it's probably not because people would just steal the door handle.
Yeah. It's sort of like a faux ruby.
Yeah.
So, as the lights are kind of flashing back and forth, the guard opens the door, revealing the VIP room. Again, I'm sorry to put you on the spot so much, but how would you describe the VIP room? What would you say it looks like? Otherwise, I can describe it.
Yeah, I'd say it's like it's much like the sort of main club. Like the ceiling sort of like got these like really cool like crystals on that like when people like fire magic into them, it kind of like makes it like lights kind of shine down. There's like a big sort of like kind of garish golden couch in this room, along with like just lots of just like rich looking stuff. But like I guess you would notice like going into it, there is like a separate door like to your like left, that's not in like part of the VIP room that like is locked.
Okay. So, as you guys see that sight, let me fix this camera real quick. All right. So as you guys see that sight, sitting on the gaudy golden couch with a woman sitting next to him, seems like she is noble-ish in nature, maybe not a noble, but is dressed to be dating a noble or to be near a noble. She has this beautiful, like, again, kind of golden dress with blue accents on it, and she sits next to him. And sorry, and then next to her is the prince. The prince is dressed in red clothing with golden accents, and as the music fades, you recognize this person, Violet. This is someone you know intimately well. His name is Prince Lawrence. He has sandy, kind of dark red hair that matches his red and gold outfit. There are in this room next to him is the woman who he's sitting with. Again, she's very also gaudy looking. As for her race, she seems like she's elvish. He himself is a human, so he's just human. But looks like he's maybe 28 years old or so. He has a perpetually like snarky look on his face. Just constant. He does not look like he is up to any good. And in the room with all of you is like 10 more of those guards dressed in gold, that gold armor. And as the door shuts behind you and the music fades, you get a good look at them all. Prince Lawrence his smirk gets a little bit bigger, showing his teeth, which have this like, he has one golden tooth for a fang, and then the rest of his teeth are regular. And he smiles and he says, "Now, Violet, it's been a long, long time, hasn't it?" And that's where we're going to end it for today.
What did you get me into? What did you get me into? I'm
God.
drunk out of my mind.
So we'll have to see what happens with Prince Lawrence and Violet